The gospel reading begins with these words, "Now, all the tax collectors and sinners were coming near to listen to Jesus. And the Pharisees and the scribes were grumbling and saying, 'This fellow welcomes sinners and eats with them.'" Luke 1:51-2. That is the framework for all that follows in chapter 15. The story of a shepherd and his sheep, of a widow and her coins, of a man and his 2 sons. It is important to remember the situation which prompted Jesus to tell these stories, and to ask, whom do I identify with in this situation? That's what we do when we read a novel or watch a movie. We tend to identify with someone in it. So which group or character do you identify with in today's gospel reading? With Jesus, the good guy who tries to straighten out the religious folks? Who calls into question all they believe? Who reaches out and loves everyone, especially the most unloved? With the Pharisees, the ones who rightly saw the dangers of too close, an association with the wrong crowd. For what parent has not worried about a child falling in with the wrong crowd? But here the Pharisees go beyond looking out for people. They are convinced that they and they alone understand God and man's relationship to Him. They are right and no one else. With the tax collectors and sinners, those traitors, the tax collectors who worked for the Romans, robbing their own people. With the sinners, the people of the land who never attended synagogue and seemed to lack even basic morality. 1. Which one are you? 2. What ought we to do? Value drives our behavior. We go the extra mile for things, people, and returns that we value. It's that simple. If we value belonging, we join a group. If we value money, we try our best to acquire it. If we value attention, we become ostentatious. If we value an heirloom, we display it and guard it and preserve it. If we value food, we become a foodie. If we value books, we accumulate a library full of them. If we value our health, we will change our behavior to optimize it, particularly if it's threatened. When something or someone we cherish becomes threatened, we do anything to protect our valued belongings. Jesus' lesson for the Pharisees and scribes that day, as told by Luke in today's scripture, was not about the employment someone had or what Pharisaic rule they had broken. Jesus saw right through their well-oiled facade. For the religious elite, it came down to a matter of value. Not for the sinners, but for them. When you see someone as yours, whether your child, your sheep, your pet, or your neighbor, you value differently. Now, it was easy enough for the Pharisees to understand their value of a sheep. For them, a flock of sheep represented a commodity, money. If one of them wandered off, of course, they would go after it. Not, however, out of compassion, but out of fear of losing an asset. Why then did it become so hard for them to make the leap from sheep and coin to tax collector and sinner?